lot of juice, a lot of fucking block. Now when I hit that switch, I'm bouncing. More bounce to the ounce and I'm clowning. Keep the gas in my lap, cause I'm fully strapped for the carjacker.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today I will be taking you guys step by step. I'm gonna walk you guys through my chest workout, how I was able to grow my chest from looking like this to currently like this. I'm also gonna give you guys just advice. It's not just a matter of just clicking on this video and copying the movements I'm gonna do. I'm gonna also be telling you guys like things which you should consider as you're training, how you should train, things with regards to your form, your rest times, your rep ranges and all that. So make sure you guys lock in for these 5-6 minutes of this video. It's gonna give you guys crazy chest gain. Let's get into the video. So for my first workout of this chest day is gonna be the incline barbell bench press. This is a movement I've just recently added into my routine. I've been doing incline dumbbell press for about a year. This is gonna be my main primary movement for my chest day. I've actually just recently added this back into my routine over the last 3 to 4 weeks. I've replaced the incline dumbbell chest press because I feel like this is a movement. It's a really good movement for your upper chest, and it also improves your strength as well. A lot of people fear this movement, or they prefer to do it with a Smith machine, which is something I did in the past, and I'm not saying that's you won't get gains off that, but I feel like the fact that with this movement it's slightly more challenging as well, and it's slightly harder to master and keep proper form on this movement. It's something like a challenge for me, and I've been doing it over the last 3 to 4 weeks. I've really enjoyed it, progressing in this movement. It's not a movement that you can just go to failure at. It's a movement where you have to have proper form to actually target your chest better. I do this movement without a spotter, so that I still do train to failure, but I do it in a smart way. I do it in a way that I will not die. Basically, I will do about 6 to 8 reps as a working set on this movement, and I actually aim to progress and add more weight or more reps each week that passes. As you guys can see here, I really focus on my form. I don't rush the bench. I see a lot of guys going to the gym, they're bouncing the barbell off their chest, trying to use that momentum. I feel like that's cheating. I feel like you should be able to get the bar off your chest, at a controlled and slow pace, because that, that also improves your strength. Just make sure you stick to this movement and make sure you're getting stronger. Either you're adding reps every week or you're adding weight every week. That's how you're going to progress on this movement. I've been seeing a lot of chest gains from this movement. This is, there's not much to say. This is one of the best chest exercises there is. Our second movement of this chest day is gonna be just a normal chest press. This is a really good movement for my chest. I really feel my pecs working. Some of the things you guys need to actually take into consideration when you're training your chest is, first of all, you need to make sure you're feeling your pecs engaging with every single rep. That goes down to, again, the elbow position I was talking about when I was doing the incline bench press. As you can see here, I don't know if you guys can see properly, but my elbows are not flared too wide, and they're also not flared too inwards. I make sure they're at a position whereby I feel my chest doing the work, not my shoulders and not my arms. I'm pushing all the tension to my chest. I normally go really heavy on this movement because it's a supported movement. I'm sitting down. I don't have to worry about like balancing. So I try to aim for you guys should be aiming for about 7 to 9 reps on this movement. Train to absolute failure on this. Even half reps at the end is good. Just pump all that blood into your chest. It's gonna give you guys crazy gains. And now we're gonna get into my last movement of this chest workout. Yes, I only do 3 movements for my chest, literally. It's gonna be a cable fly, chest cable flies. Now you might ask yourself, why is this guy putting a bench in between 2 cable machines, cable lines? First of all, I know a lot of people do this movement while standing, but Personally, for the amount of weight I'm actually trying to pull, I don't want to spend my time actually trying to balance and not fall over, and actually like controlling the weight and making sure the cables don't pull back. I see a lot of guys, you know, in the gym, they're trying to do this movement with the heavy weight and they're struggling. You know, you're struggling to actually keep your posture and engage your chest because you're worried about, you know, the weight pulling you. Ever since I started doing this seated version of these cable flies, I'm able to solely focus on, you know, engaging my chest. I'm not worried about falling over. I'm not worried about the weights pulling me. I'm not worried about my posture being bad. You know, when you're worried about all those things, it's hard to focus primarily on the chest and the movement. So I know it's, you know, it's annoying to set this up, and you know, especially if your gyms are full, you know, some people are going to complain. They're going to be like, you're taking up the things. But if you have a chance, I recommend you guys start doing your cable flies seated. Just so much better, and you're able to push a large amount of weight. I recommend setting up the bench not too straight up and also not too far back. You know, you just want to hit that sweet spot where you're able to feel your chest. And I recommend the cables, set up the cables, they should be like shoulder height, about shoulder height, and when you're pulling straight over, as opposed to bring your arms, your hands together. Try to bring your biceps together, and trust me, come back to this video, just do it. If you know you guys are doing chest today, go and try and do this, and you tell me how crazy that pump feels. And I know I said that was my last movement of chest day, but guys, I always finish off my chest day with dips. This is how I always finish off my chest days. This is a great way to just burn out your chest, finish off any energy you guys had in your chest that was left from the workout. This is a great way to, you know, it also gives you a massive crazy pump. Mike Mintz actually really talks highly of the dips. You know, there's a lot of like pro and ex bodybuilders who really highly rate the dips. It's something I've actually started doing recently. I've started increasing these. I've started doing this, adding these to my routine. Every time I finish chest, every time I finish triceps, I always add these at the end to just, you know, pump out the chest, fill it out, get a massive pump as well. I just do this. I just pump these for about 4 sets at the end of my chest workout. 4 sets of these to failure, and that's all you need to grow your chest. If you're a skinny guy and you're really looking to grow your chest, another thing I would suggest is picking 3 movements. If you want to try the movements I've mentioned in this video, pick 3 movements and stick with them and track your progress. Make sure every single week you go in, either you're adding reps or you're adding weight. Some people think that the only way to do progressive overload is by increasing the weight every week. No. Take for example the incline bench press. You know, sometimes it's not gonna be as easy as it seems to increase the weight, because first of all there is no support, and you know, but also increasing, like doing 2 more reps than you did last week, is also an example of progressive overloads. Focus on your upper chest. You know, the upper chest is really neglected. I see a lot of guys doing flat bench press. Like, guys, we're in 2025, like, you know, everybody knows that if you want a big full chest, you need to focus on your upper chest, your upper decks. Make sure you guys leave a like on the channel, subscribe, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Currently on the road to 200 subscribers, so I'll see you guys in the next video.